Welcome in to this MPW Digital Postgame show presented by Realtree. Chase Parham, Brian Rippey here with you to start off the program. Just a fun little Saturday matinee for all you guys. An easy Ole Miss win over the Washington State Cougars. I'm seeing all the freaking out there a little bit in the live chat as we're getting going here right now. So Ole Miss 24, Washington State 21. Obviously, I'm being a little facetious as we are getting going. Ole Miss, look, it's 6-0. That's the headline. They get past the Cougars, but talk about one ugly football game right there for the Rebels. So we're going to get all into that. We're going to talk about that and plenty of other things here with you. We'll look back, we'll look ahead, and we'll go from there. So again, Ole Miss 24. Washington State 21 here with we're here with you today, and we're here with you because of Realtree. Realtree.com, all your apparel needs. Realtree.com. That's in the lifestyle brand. That's outdoor brand. Hunting gear. We're getting close to mid-October, so all the hunting season's getting ready to ramp up and go through early in the spring as well. So Realtree.com. Appreciate them as we do every week. And I've got one of these bad boys for the office. Came in yesterday. One of the new pattern Realtree helmets. It is here in front of me. And you know what we're going to do here in a couple of weeks? We're going to give this, or at least one of these bad boys away. It can be signed by Lane Kiffin if you prefer that, if you win that. So just heads up as we give stuff away from Realtree.com every single week. Go ahead. I've got this one. Again, the new print, real helmet, whole deal here from Realtree.com. We will give one of those away to one of the listeners the South Carolina weekend. That's when Ole Miss is going to wear it that day. So we will give one away. Again, you can be autographed or not there with you. Tyler Siskey now joining us as well. I'm going to open it up to you. Pretty listless, pretty lethargic. Rebels do survive. Kind of, as a coach. Take me through just kind of what you saw, because we're going to do all the platitudinal stuff. Like the media loves hey, they weren't ready for today and they were looking ahead and all that kind of stuff. But from your standpoint, kind of take me through what you saw today, Tyler. I can't hear you. Are you muted on your side?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
That was my fault. Um, I think it was a team that had a bye week that was playing really well going into a bye week. Had 2 weeks to hear how good they were, and just came out flat. I mean, the good news is you won, and it's kind of survive in advance. Nobody's going to remember that you won by 3 at the end of the year. It's 6-0. Go on. I mean, now if you lost by 3, it'd be a problem. But hey, won by 3, nobody cares. Just and it wasn't like I mean I know fans are probably I imagine they were not happy and having meltdowns, but it wasn't all bad. You know, it was just didn't really.
You didn't finish early. You should have been up 20-7 early.
There were plays, right? It wasn't like oh the whole game looked like shit. It was plays that killed drives, or like you were saying, like the very first drive of the game and the second drive of the game to get down missed a field goal, but I didn't think. I kind of thought that the line of scrimmage was very sleepy. It probably led to some bad play at times. I thought Lacey played great. I
He did.
thought he kind of carried the load for him. And hey, just win and go play another one. You know, because they
And
get
he
real out.
and here's the deal. And I'm saying this, like I said, I'm seeing the comments in the stream go, and you're all doing the "oh God, Ole Miss is overrated," freak out, emotional thing. And I like, here's the deal. This thing is we don't do transitive properties. We don't do week to week mattering. This game has zero impact on how Ole Miss plays Georgia next week. None at all. And that's whether Ole Miss gets beat by 40 or wins by 40 next week. It does not have an impact on that as far as it was close today, so it's automatically something next week. Because, it's like you said, there was so many mistakes for Ole Miss early. You look at those first two possessions. You said, I think they had, 2nd and 3 from the 4 or from the 6 or whatever, their first and goal. They can't punch it in. They get hit in the mouth. They get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. They have a bad play. He tries to get Stribling killed over the middle on either third down or fourth down, whatever it was. They turn the ball over. They miss a field goal. They have the sack fumble when Lacey had run them into the red zone, and you had the holding penalty that brought it back. You've got Deshaun Womack committing the the legal hit on the quarterback up high, hit him in the helmet. That was a personal foul that extended a drive that Washington State scored on there at one point. There were so many little plays that magnified this and turned it into a 24-21 game. It was a game that Ole Miss, if you just watch it, I mean, it was clear who the better team was, but they did not do the winning plays to put this thing away prior to that. And look, you're right. Look, 24-21 your way, you move on to Georgia, and you don't really think about it again. 24-21 the other way, and that'd have made the damn Kentucky game last year look like getting beat by the damn Packers. I mean, that wouldn't even be something we talked about anymore, at this point. So, hey, everybody can exhale. It looks like they got into this thing pretty healthy for the most part. Brian, were there points of that game where you thought Ole Miss was actually in severe danger of losing this football game?
Not really, but I will say if that fourth down at the end of the third quarter where Lacey gets stuffed initially and then bounces it
Yeah,
outside. I
huge
mean,
run.
if he gets stuffed there and they don't get that, Ole Miss is. I mean, that's giving Washington State the ball with pretty good field position. Ole Miss, in all likelihood, already down 4 points, is not getting the ball back with until a few minutes into the fourth quarter. So I don't know, maybe there, but I never really thought Ole Miss was going to lose the game. But it was certainly a landmine.
They were 6-0 now. Hey, bowl eligible for the Rebels. Hey, they're bowl eligible. That's where they at here. Hey, that's the first step, right?
Y'all all laugh, but that contract's got 6 wins in it. Just saying. It's a nice payday for some people, y'all. All fun and games for the fans. Ha ha ha! Somebody's going to the bank on Tuesday.
If they had lost, though, that's got to be
Oh,
one of the highest.
it's the worst loss of the. I mean, yeah, it's horrific in every way. I
Well, I
mean,
just meant
yeah.
statistically a 32-point favorite. That's got to be up there like all time with upsets, just from a spread standpoint. I would think. I'm not even talking about Ole Miss, just across the board.
I
I
don't
think the
know.
largest one was wasn't. I could be completely wrong on this one, but I think the Michigan App
Howard.
State one from several years ago, like the block. I think that was like 41 or 44 or something like that. I think
What
And
was
that's
then
the?
there was a Howard beat UNLV a couple years
yeah,
ago with
that
like
was a
Cam
big one.
Newton's relative that was like 30 something.
Yeah, it was big.
So let's look at a few stats as we're getting going here. Again, we're gonna look back at this, but I just don't think this has a ton of indication on moving forward in the season. Chambliss ends up 20 for 29, 253, couple touchdowns, no interceptions. So at least the pick side, good for him there. He runs for 15 yards on 11 carries. Just didn't get much going at all in the run game with Chambliss. He did have the 17-yard run that put him ahead there into the end zone. That was a huge one at the time. Did you see anything different? Was it offensive line based this year? What did you kind of see from Chambliss in the run game? They tried some powers, they tried some different things, but I just thought whether it was because of pressure coming from some certain areas. I mean, number one, I don't have an all 22, and number two, I don't know enough to know what I'm looking at. But just in general, I did not feel like he was as direct with some of his runs and scrambles. Looked like he was a little hesitant, a little bit late, and then it seemed that he was maybe seeing ghost a little more than in past weeks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think blocking has something to do with that. Some of the runs that I saw, I was there. I went to the first half. Um, they were doing some quarterback power stuff, and so you have to delay to let the guard clear. So some of them were by design, not just direct takeoff running, is so for the play to develop. I mean, just at the end of the day, it was just a sleepy game, right? I mean, it's a good thing you're playing Washington State today. You know what I mean? You're not playing a Kentucky, or somebody like that's it's a sleepy game that gets you, and they were fortunate enough to win. And like I said, nobody. That was probably it, man. It was plays. It wasn't all bad. I mean, there was some stuff that looked good. I thought Chambliss looked really good on his free access throws when he gets to the top in his quick game, and he had early, like on the first drive, I think it was maybe the second drive. Second drive, he had a really good on time ball to the outside. I think it was two. It was on the far side where I was sitting. And any kind of free access throw he could get to the top, I thought he did good. He does not, and his deal, it has always been his deal, is he does not throw the ball well downfield, particularly when he has to go through his progressions. He's late or can't get the ball there. Got away with a defensive holding. I didn't see it It wasn't on the player that the interception was on. It was on somebody else. So I have no idea I was there. So I don't know who did the holding and all that stuff for Washington State. But that ball was, those are things that you can't do starting next week. I mean, when you got the receiver had him stacked, he had the whole field to work with. He's got to let that thing rip and let him go get it, and then he I don't know. I think he missed 2 or 3 deep balls, just bad spots and things like that. And it's just something he doesn't do well. But when he has his free access and but he does some really good things, like he gets you out of trouble. There were a couple plays that he got out of the pocket that I think the other one would have had a tough time getting out of the pocket with. So, but line of scrimmages were very sleepy, and I think that led to a lot of issues. But like I said, it was a good thing 5 showed up because he kind of carried the load and kept them ahead of the chains.
What are you meaning by free access for those people that don't get
pitches, nobody in your vision, top of your drop, let it rip, soft corners.
Taking what you're given, essentially.
Pitch and catch, nobody in your vision. So soft corner, catch it. There's nobody in your vision between. It's just routes on air.
Oklahoma 3-0 right now, just starting the second quarter. That is underway. You got Arkansas, Tennessee in this time slot. Got some other stuff as well. We're kind of following. Alabama holds off Mizzou 27-24 earlier today. Did you have any cash in that? Either one of y'all?
Yeah, I pushed. It was 3. I had him at 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, that was. I was watching that game on my phone at the stadium. They were ahead. They started 11, so I got to watch most of that. Got home and watched the end of that one. I kind of missed the drive. I missed the first drive of the second half by when Washington State scored. I missed that one, and then that's about the only thing I got to miss. And then I saw the way the Alabama game was. I was able to see most of it.
Yeah, again, we're mentioning Lacey multiple times. Again, 24 carries for 142 yards. He was absolutely the guy that got it done. He's averaging 5.9. He had a long of 23. He had the one where he carried some dudes down the field, and then also that was a scoring drive. And then as Brian said, I pointed that in my story too. I thought that 4th and 1 right there was by far his most important run of the day because, like you said, you're in a weird spot. You give the ball back, you're already down. I mean, it's somewhat similar, and I get it's a little situationally different, but it's not that different than the 2023 team when they were down against Arkansas and went for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and Judkins had a good run to kind of extend the drive right there. They go down, they score, they sort of put it away. He was a man multiple times today, and it's frankly by far their best player. He didn't get into the end zone from a scoring standpoint. Daquan Wright, 2-yard reception from Chambliss. Carnero with those 2 extra points also had a 40-yard field goal to open the scoring. He missed a 47-yard field goal. And then again, Chambliss running one in. Caden Lee also with a 35-yard catch. Juked a couple guys is out to get in the end zone on that one as well. Credit to Oscar Bird too. He pinned them back. I know it's the punter, and Siski didn't want to talk about the punter ever. I get that. Doesn't want to talk punters, but at the same time, he's been a bit of a weapon for Ole Miss so far. So just saying.
Or kickers.
Which is worse?
Depends on who misses.
Did you think for a second Lane was going to, either one of y'all, did y'all think Lane might go for it there at the end instead of pinning them back? Or is it in the 3-point game you don't do that?
I didn't think he was snapping it ever.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a very. I don't know if I was more shocked. I mean, I wasn't really shocked he didn't go for it. I was shocked that my guy at Washington State decided to run outside zone with no timeouts.
That was amazing. That play was nuts. What was he doing? The dude lost 20 seconds.
It's not probably wouldn't have been on my openers right there coming out of that one. I probably would have left that one on the call sheet on that one. But I mean, like they were very limited. It was, I don't know. That one surprised me a little bit. I probably would have done what he ended up doing late and just chunking it and seeing if you get a PI and getting better field position to take a shot to end zone. But yeah, I probably would not have started the drive with outside zone. That probably would not have been my drive starter there.
By the way,
You
that
know,
was a pretty good penalty actually on Gushigan on that heave down the field. Because if
two
he
weeks in a
catches
row,
it, they're
man.
up in yeah. I mean, they're up in field goal range. Go ahead and just knock the hell out of him. Come
Hey,
on.
2 weeks in a row, two great PIs, like two great PIs. Like I know it's dumb, but those PIs really, like two of them probably could have changed the season in a good way. Two defensive PI, because remember LSU game, he was beat real bad and got the PI, and they ended up holding them for a field goal, and then instead of a touchdown, and then this one kept him out of field goal range. I was like, hey, that's two good uses of PI right there.
Y'all take anything from Ole Miss defensively at all today? What do you got?
I just thought the whole team was lethargic. Just
Okay.
man, that's just. I mean, that it's won the game, and then it gets for real to here the next 2 weeks. I mean,
Siski,
what
do you
it
think
is.
there's any chance that guy forgot he didn't have a timeout to start that last drive, or do you think they just didn't really trust that guy to throw it down the field? Because it seemed like their quarterback, the only time they did throw it down the field successfully, like the receiver made a hell of a play. But like that call was so shocking to me. I almost wondered if he thought he had one.
Sometimes one you're backed up, but if you think they're dropping 8 or something, they're going to start going on a prevent or something like that. You may try to pop them one time and get going, but I mean, he did get like 7 yards, I think, right? But but he probably thought he could pop them, but I don't know. I don't know. There's no predicting what was going through his head. I'm sure I don't think he didn't know how many timeouts he had. I would. That's pretty hard to do. Like, you got to be a dumbass to not know how many timeouts. It's kind of, what I mean? That'd be like,
Job one. Like that's
yeah.
that's that's, that's
That would be like one of you guys sitting down to write an article and thinking your computer was in front of you, but it wasn't. You left it in the car. Like, you're sitting there looking at it, and I mean, just it's kind of part of the job.
I didn't think we got to play therapist today to this extent, but seeing the chat getting crazy, seeing a lot of championship teams don't have games like this. Yeah, they do all the damn time, all the damn time. 11 o'clock after a bye week. There's the craziest thing about this is they're not robots; they are humans. And you read the press clippings and you see what Washington State was doing. You see they were down 59-10. And you make some early miscues, and suddenly you get into a bit of a dogfight. Now, I was a little surprised they didn't extend a little more in the second half and play a little cleaner after halftime, uh, just because you see that a good bit. But I mean, it's one of the things Tyler sort of taught me a little bit. I mean, it's not like you go in there and have a complete change of everything at the half. You're just basically getting a little bit of a breath and heading back out there to some extent. I think we overemphasize the importance of halftime, or at least I think we have in the past. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they just didn't. It wasn't. There was nothing wrong with the plan. It was just didn't execute, man. You know what I mean? And it wasn't all 11 guys all the time. It was just, and it wasn't all bad. I mean, they got drives going. They moved the ball. They did some things.
They
They
were
got
up. They
stopped.
had 97 yards to their 9 after the first two drives, and easily could have been up 14 to whatever at that point. And then we're not even having anywhere near this conversation because the final score is like 38-17 or something. And you go, okay,
Yeah.
great, whatever.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being Pollyanna on the other way. I never felt there was any chance that I didn't. I mean, even at the end of the game when they had the ball, technically with a chance to win the game, I mean, you're still like, yeah. I mean, it's everything was so stressed on their level, and it is what it is. But hey, it's also the point that you have to. It's never, it's very cliche, but it's very true. Nobody likes to hear about it, but it's never about who you're playing. It's always about you. And today it was probably more about who they were playing, and it from a player standpoint, right? And you have to show up and execute at a high level no matter who you play, and take the life out of them. You had a team that's given up 59 points, I think twice actually, if I'm not mistaken, but. And you drive down, miss a little bit, and credit to them, they didn't show up. They showed up and played. They never quit. It's my Washington State. So, but you basically had a team that didn't really that was just asleep, and a team that was playing on fire. And they still couldn't get it done. So, hey, you win, and then like I said, it really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to remember this shit in 2 weeks. It's all going to matter. And hell, in 7 days, you better get ready and strap it up because it's getting real the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, because I mean, here's the deal. I mean, I see one comment in the stream, one team. Oh, let's see, blah, blah, let me find it. Hold up, we were told to give more to NIL and raise the bar. Which one is it? You're 6-0. You're ranked number 4 in the country. Had you lost, it would have been embarrassing. This was not embarrassing. I mean, sure, it sucked in real time, but nobody's going to put you at the top of the thing tomorrow and go, "Oh my God, look at the ridiculous rebels." Like, yeah, sure, some media members that hate you are going to take little pot shots today, and you know what? They're going to move on, and it doesn't damn matter. If you fall 2 spots in the rankings, and you have a 6 by your name instead of a 4 on Monday. Who gives a shit? Like, it just doesn't matter. Go play Georgia next week.
It also seems as hard as ever for like guys to get up for games like this, and like how week to week the sport has become. I mean, Notre Dame made the national title game last year and lost to a 7-5 Northern Illinois team at home. But that seems to be part of it as well. It seems hard as ever for teams, particularly coming off a bye week and having a big win the week before that, to get up for a game like this. The game time certainly didn't help either.
Yeah, I don't know that you're going to fall in the rankings at all. I mean, it depends what's going on behind you. Somebody's going to have to like just look better and blow somebody out or something. I mean, you're not automatically going to fall 5 spots because you won a game closer than the line. I mean,
can I say something? Nobody gives a shit about why do people care about the polls?
Yeah, none of the polls that come out right now matter.
I don't care if you're ranked number 1. It doesn't matter. This is where, Chase, I think you and I disagree on this. Like, do you know, like, literally there are people voting on, like, that are the people that you were talking about that matter are freaking like 22-year-old people that were like captain of their fucking debate team. That's who's voting on this shit. And they're literally doing it for clicks. Like, they are making their like, you have people in the AP poll that are because now that their votes are public, they are purposely doing stupid shit so people will talk about them. Like, that's going on right now and nobody's talking about it. Who cares? Hey, you got 2 games. Hey, if you go 10-2, you're getting in. It's what it is. You got 5 games left. Find a way to go 3-2.
I think you have 6 games left, 4-2, but yes. I guess Citadel doesn't count, so yeah, 3-2. Okay, sorry, my bad. I was just doing basic math. Okay. Okay, my bad. We're not counting the Bulldogs.
That's a whole. You thought today's show's bad. You better hope you don't lose the other one.
Okay, I agree with you 99.8%. I think there's only one scenario where polls matter. And that is a situation where a 9-3 team possibly gets into the playoff, and the higher you're ranked early to mid part of the year does have some relation to where you finish among teams also with the same number of losses. Meaning if you end up, if you have 3 losses and there's 4 more 3 losses, you being ranked higher before that last loss is a more important factor than if you were downstream a bit. It's just poll mechanics.
Fair, but you shouldn't have lost 3 games.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I mean? The first edition of the only poll that matters didn't come out for another month anyway, right? Or 3 weeks. It's like November 4th. Isn't that correct?
After week 8, I think. I don't know what week 8 they call it, but after whatever version of week 8 it is. I don't know if that's counting week 0 or not. I don't know how they do it, but I know it's after the 8th week.
Yeah, and again, you're missing the point. Somebody said it's a dumb conversation. Put money on the idea the CF poll comes out and looks almost identical to the AP poll. That's not the point. It's that if you win 10 games, you are getting into the tournament, and if you don't, then you are in danger of you're not going to make the tournament. That's it. Yeah, that's all that matters.
I know the college football playoff poll matters too, but I question the people who are doing that one too. So just for the record.
Well, and I question that the first 3 playoff poll matters because they just move the shit around at the end wherever they want to anyway. I mean,
it's really, the whole polling system the way it is to begin with. Like I know for a fact the people who are actually voting on this thing, they don't even watch football. They watch the team that they cover, but they don't. And if the team's on national TV, they'll watch them, but they're not watching everybody. They're not watching. I mean, if you want the good news or the bad news, which one you want first?
Bad news first, always. Always want the bad news first.
Bad news is you got a bunch of 24-year-old people that were captain of their debate team that you let your emotions dictate this. The good news is this was on SEC Network, and they saw Ole Miss play Washington State. I guarantee you, I bet there's not 5 people on the planet that watched this game today that are voting. I bet there's not 5 AP voters that watched this game today. And that's probably high.
They're going to see you didn't lose, and they're going to keep you right the hell where you were to begin with.
Yep.
That's going to happen.
But 5 people didn't.
And like Luke here, like again, you guys are really emotional today. Because Luke goes, let's stop talking about playoffs. It's not a playoff team. Well, it is if they win 4 more freaking games. I mean, again, I don't care what you think they are. 3, whatever. Yeah, I don't care what you think they are or are they not. At the end of the day, they are 6-0, and they're 3-0 or whatever. I mean, that's it. They're going to go play Georgia. They're going to play Oklahoma. And then they're going to try to not stub their toe in games they're going to be favored in against Florida and South Carolina. Both losable games, and both games are going to be favored in. That's the truth. That's where you're at. And then you're going to go play Lebby and the Bulldogs, and that'll be whatever the hell it is at that point. I don't know.
Well, that'll be fun.
Like a root canal. That's what that's going to be like for them.
If Ole Miss has 2 losses going to that game,
oh man,
there's going to be some assholes tied in that one.
Did we already have the time for that game? I can't remember. Was that one?
It's like 11 a.m. It's like 11 a.m.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dejon Stribling, by the way, 6 catches, 8 targets today. A game high, our team high in targets when he had not been getting the ball much at all. Daquan Wright, 4 for 80. 5 targets in that one. Caden Lee, 3 targets, 3 catches, 56 yards. Deuce Alexander, 3 for 36, 4 targets. Lacey, 2 for 19 in the air, 3 targets. And then Winston Watkins, 2 for -1 off 4 targets there at that point. Let's see. All right. Let's, I mean, again, we can. At the end of the day, you won the game. I don't want to just analyze this damn thing to death here at this juncture. Skip some first looks, Siski. They clearly have to play better. Georgia next week, which just sort of your offensive side, defensive side, quick little analysis of where they are for that game.
Yeah, somebody asked me on live sometime this week. Now, I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts. One, if it just look at straight matchups, I think I'm of the opinion that I think if you told me Ole Miss went 1-1 in these games, I think they have a better chance against Georgia than they do against Oklahoma. Now that's just my opinion. I like the matchups better against Georgia. With that being said, the second part of that is what happens to Georgia tonight. Okay, does Georgia? Okay, let's say Georgia goes into Auburn and loses. Okay, now you got a 2-loss Georgia team coming home to play. Like, what does that look like? They've, this early in the season, they've never been in that situation. How does that change sense of urgency and those things? So I don't know. That could be a weird deal there. But the other thing is like they go into Auburn, they beat Auburn, and they're a 1-loss team. These guys are going to remember what happened last year. They're going to be ready to play. Georgia is, right? But I think Ole Miss will be too. I think matchup-wise, I think Ole Miss matches up better with Georgia just from a up-front perspective. Georgia hasn't gotten to the quarterback, and I'm so interested to watch that matchup tonight because that's been Auburn's issue last 2 weeks. So how does that look? But Georgia's had a tough time. It's going to be it's an emotional game for them. It's a rivalry game for them. How do they come back from that, right? So all that's going to be interesting. I guess the Mateer thing's been solved. He's playing today at Texas. So barring him needing his other thumb repaired, he'll be there for when they go. So that'll change. I think Oklahoma's really good on defense. I think they're arguably the best defense in the league. A&M, but I do like Oklahoma up front and getting to the quarterback and all that stuff. So we're currently in a Clockwork Orange game right now on ABC. We got 6-0 almost at halftime. But I don't know. I think that they match up probably better with those guys. Georgia, I'm kind of Gunnar Stockton's a very interesting cat for me at quarterback. He he either processes extremely well, which I know he's a smart kid, but he never lets things develop. They've got really good players on the perimeter, and then running game's been okay. The right side of the offensive line hasn't been very good for them the whole year. They got some things that I think Ole Miss can take advantage of. But they're going to have Ole Miss has got to show up and play too, right? It can't. It sure is. They'll put this in the deal. They'll be ready to go. But I think if the LSU version of Ole Miss shows up, I think they'll have chances in Athens. I don't know. Going to Norman, I think that's going to be a tall task, regardless of what version shows up. In my opinion, I think Oklahoma's really good.
You can even do it from both you guys. You can even do it from a if they win or if they lose standpoint. But what's your guess on an early line for Georgia after tonight?
I'm like 0 for 3 when you ask this question. I don't know. I'm going 5.5.
Okay,
4.5. Is that fair?
If Georgia wins tonight, I think you're looking somewhere in that 5.5, 6 range. That's my guess. No, maybe that's high. No, never mind. 4.5. 4.5. I think it's where we're at.
It really doesn't matter once you get like 3.5 to 6.5 to me are the same spread. So it doesn't, 3.5 to 6.5 are the same thing for me. It's either a touchdown or a field goal. So, but yeah, the thing that they'll have to get figured out between now is this will be Six's first test on the road. You know what I mean? So going on the road in this league's kind of difficult. So seeing how he responds, this is the first time. It's all been friendly fire so far.
God,
right?
They really hadn't been on the road, have they? God, they hadn't played on the road since Kentucky.
No, it's the first time he's been in friendly confines since he's got cranked up, which is a good thing. But it's going to be a little bit different in Athens, I imagine, next week. Particularly if Georgia wins, it'll be really different. If Georgia loses, I'm really curious what happens if Georgia loses tonight.
Daniel, thanks for super chat. Says, just win, as Tyler said, can't look ahead, discount anybody. Austin, thank you. As always, good to see you, dear sweet Lord. Almost had a heart attack 3 times today. That was disgusting. Toddy, though, coming from Austin. Look, game's in 2.5 hours here. Brian, what are you expecting tonight, Auburn and Georgia?
Is this like the perfect Hugh Freeze spot, or is Georgia just better than Auburn? By the way, while y'all are having that conversation about the line, the 4 was the first number that popped into my head, and then I Googled it, and some site called VegasInsider.com currently has it at 4. So I think we are pretty on the nose there, which feels right. I really have no idea what to expect tonight. I guess it all depends on Auburn's offense, obviously, but I'm fascinated to see. I'm also curious to see if Georgia is able to win that game, what that means for Hugh Freeze, how dicey and does that situation get? How hot does his seat get?
Oh, there's no in between, brother.
Yeah, this kind of feels like the last stand type of thing.
This is Custer's last stand right here, brother. This is one way or the. He's either coming out. There's no in between. I'm 100% in on this narrative now. There is zero in between. It's either going to be like as hot as possible, or it's going to be like it's going to be he got the signature win. It's going to be there's no in between, and it's all. I mean, it could be a bounce of a ball, man. It doesn't. It's just
It is one fickle ass sport. Like it's so small on the margins on where you're at. It's nutty.
I've told this story 1,000 times. I had friends on both staffs, right? So Les Miles it was Les Miles last game at LSU. Les Miles, LSU's going to play in Auburn, and Gus is the head coach at Auburn. Les Miles was the head coach at LSU. I had friends on both staffs, and both of them during the week said, "Hey, man, we've already been told if we lose this game, we're fired." Like after the game, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, both of them, like independently of each other." And I'm like, "Man, this is not going to be good." Well, at the end of the game, can't remember what year this was. It was whatever year that Les Miles got fired. LSU scored on the last play of the game to win the game. But they reviewed the play and saw that they did not get the snap off. It went to 0-0, and so Auburn won. So literally, Gus was going to get fired if it hadn't gotten reviewed, but it got reviewed. LSU, and then so Ed Orgeron takes over as interim, wins 10 games, whatever it was, goes on, and then Auburn goes. Auburn was going to fire Gus Malzahn, and they ended up going to the Sugar Bowl that year. It's just when I say fickle, man, I'm talking about that's just about as fickle as you can get. It's a fickle sport.
Siskis, have you ever been on the sidelines when an assistant made contact with an official and drew a 15-yard penalty like that happened at the end of the game today?
Not at the end of the game, but during it, yes. I've gotten one.
I imagine that's not well received by the head man.
No, I got one time for it.
Oh, really?
I did. But it was like I got cursed a little bit. We wasn't even on the field. I had got done doing whatever I was going to do between drives, and it was like some like 7-8 play drive. So I was done coaching, and I walked to the white way back. So I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention because I was thinking, and I had turned my back to walk, and I was still in the white, and they threw a go ball down the sideline, and the side judge was backpedaling, and he backpedaled into me, and I got a 15-yard. Head coach wasn't happy.
I'm reading here.
That's like steel. Was the ref okay after running into you? That's like running into a brick wall, man.
No, I didn't even see him. I had my back to him, and we went no diddy butt to butt. So he was backpedaling, and I was walking away.
I mean, that's not as good as when Derek Pegues was returning the kick for Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, whatever that year, and Gene Swindle, who was running the state scout side at the time, ran into me as I was standing still on the sidelines because he was so happy and celebrating the return. He was running down the sidelines with Pegues as he was running through the Rebels punt team at the moment. So there's that.
That's what you got to be. That's what you're worried about on the sideline. Like, you got to have your head on a swivel on punt. Anytime there's punt, because those gunners will freaking get jammed out of bounds, and they will haul ass running like beyond the white. So you'll get. I've seen people get Peter rolled on that. It sucks. It hurts.
It made me think from just a ridiculous media member standpoint. I remember what was going on. Ole Miss was trying to play, I guess, Maryland or Pitt or something. This has been years ago and something. We were trying to figure out who to talk to and get some sources or whatever. And I called. It was a Pitt writer, and I called another guy and I said, "Hey, who do I need to call from Pitt to try to like get what's going on or whatever?" And he goes, "Hey, don't call this dude because he what was the big fat coach at Maryland? Turgeon or no? Was that no? Phrygian. Okay, yeah. So after one of the games, I guess Pitt beat Maryland. This media member runs on the field to the middle of the field and does the choke sign at the Maryland coach in front of his face. Oh, boy. I mean,
I don't know. They don't teach you that in journalism school. You can't.
You're catching some hot moments. You got the right coach right there. You're about to catch one in the chin.
Yeah. They better not catch the wrong one.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Stay away from that cat. Neil put in some comments in the stream. He says his thought today was likely a good thing for the team. Wake up call without suffering an L. Chambliss, if we play like we played today, we're going to get beat probably pretty badly. That is an accurate statement for next week in Athens. That is not wrong. Said it was unacceptable for Ole Miss today. Got the win, but we have to do better. I mean, I do get that sentiment. I mean, if you're just talking about straight having their attention, I mean, you're going to fully have it now heading into next week, and maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe Siski's like shrugging it off, going, who gives a shit? But sure.
If you're not, I mean, brother, if you're not, I mean, come on, dog. I mean, like, if you told me they were going on the road to play Kentucky or Arkansas next week, okay,
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm same team,
but you're headed to Athens.
If you like, when we got to lock in this week, we're playing Georgia on the road. Like, brother, you got to pick another sport. You got to pick another sport. Rifle. I saw the rifle team had a national championship or something today. You got to go join rifle. You know what I mean?
It appears we did get a Lane Kiffin shot at the student section. He said our red zone offense showed up about like our student section today. I was wondering if that was coming or not. So apparently
Okay,
that did happen.
all right. Again, we have a rule here where I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money ever. Okay, ever. So whatever. I'm not gonna do the fans should have done whatever. I was a little surprised, given the weather, that it wasn't more full at the beginning. That more people didn't just show up in general. But I do think, I mean, it kind of plays into what Siki said. They haven't been on the road since Kentucky. Right or wrong, or what anybody thinks, it matters how many home games you've had in a row. People pick one to skip, and this was the one that a lot of people skipped. Again, you can
We
be pissed off about that. You can say it's right, wrong. I mean, again, that's not my call. It's none of my business. But I did expect a little larger crowd early. I'm not surprised that people left after halftime because it's just what people do, even in a
we
close game.
look. It's not cheap, for
No.
families to come to a game, and like you're sitting there and you go, okay, let's see here. In the next few weeks, I can come to Oxford and I can go watch LSU, Ole Miss. I can watch South Carolina, Ole Miss. I can watch Florida, Ole Miss, or Washington State. Oh, let me go. I'm excited to watch the Cougs. I mean, it's just like I don't know. I just it's homecoming. It's October. You know, if it was the first game of the season, maybe a little bit different. But I think at this point in the season, I actually kind of expected it to be down a little bit.
The student thing is a little different. Um, Big Ben says students aren't regular fans. They need to be criticized. They left super early. I It never filled up. They did leave early. My one thing on that, because it's hard to get student tickets potentially, and not everybody can get them. I if I were in charge and I had the ability technologically to do this, I would put in some sort of system that made the students log out when they leave and get some sort of point system where the more games you went to or the longer you stayed, your priority level went up for tickets moving forward. I have no idea if that is possible, but that is something I would do with student tickets if at all possible. My
That
opinion.
sounds like a lot of money for 2 games a year.
Uh, just
That's
just an
true.
opinion. I said if it does again, I'm it's perfect world. It's utopia around here. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I always try to bring reality to the chat. That's a lot of
I,
money to spend and a
I'm the
lot of
guy that go. I
process.
mean, look, because you're right. Look, I try not to be the guy that goes, "Well, I don't agree with that," and they go, "Well, what do you think?" Oh, I don't know. I just don't agree with that. It's like, no,
Oh,
let's have some ideas at the table here. What are we watching? What are you reacting to?
John Mateer just threw a pick in the end zone with 2 seconds to go to halftime because he forced it.
Oklahoma has 2 turnovers. Texas does not have one. Kind of last thing on this, and I'm going to move forward again because you guys are still talking about it. I mean, Luke, I see you. He says we're better than that. Sorry to disrupt your flow, Chase, but we need to raise the bar. No longer a Hugh Freeze team. Appreciate your 6-0 comment, but you're 6-0. I mean, Brian just mentioned it. Notre Dame last year went into the deep into the playoffs and played for and they lost to Northern Illinois. I mean, I can
They
go
went
through.
They didn't go deep. They went to the
They
final.
to the
They
last
went as
game.
far as you
Yes,
can
right.
go
They
without
went
winning
to
it.
the
Yeah.
last game. I can go through a lot of teams who finish fourth in the country or better every year and find clunkers where they barely beat some crap team at 11 o'clock in the morning. Like it's college football. They're not robots. It just because somebody goes, I don't understand in today's world why you can't see every game as the most important. It's like emotionally it doesn't work like that. I mean, I've told the story, and Siski's got 1,000,000% more expertise and understanding of this. But I remember it was 2000. Get the year right. It's a Tuberville Auburn team. Ole Miss was bad. It's probably like '06, something like that, under Orgeron. And I walked out on the midfield. I was talking to Tuberville before the game, and he basically predicted, goes, hey, we're just sleepwalking through this thing today. We got so-and-so next week, not trying to get the energy all up. You can't do that but a few times. Just going to get through this against a bad Ole Miss team, and they beat Ole Miss 17-7. And they moved on and did whatever they did or didn't do that day. You can't make every game the end of the world. You can't. It's not doable emotionally or just with people being in the uniforms. Now
Yeah,
you can
like
perform better again. Oh, I guess and I'm not frustrated. You guys, I appreciate you being here. I'm not like whatever. I'm not even saying you're wrong. You all have right to an opinion. It's that I think we're talking about like 3 plays. If you make 3 plays differently, we're not having this conversation again. Ole Miss had outgained them 97-9 with 2 red zone opportunities, and it was tied 0-0. We're talking about just a few plays.
today is one of those days because it happens a lot. I mean, it's not like this never happens to. I'm on Team Chase here. It happens to everybody. These are games that you go like you're as a coach. Excuse me, as a coach, you're gonna go home. 11 o'clock game. First of all, you're fired up. All right, but you go home. You're gonna get home. So it's 11 o'clock. They're probably gonna get home in about an hour, and they're gonna pour a Diet Miller in a cold glass. They're gonna go sit down. They're gonna put something on the grill or whatever it is, and you're just gonna be pissed off the whole night. You're gonna be fucking pissed, and you're just gonna be running every play in your head. And then you're gonna get there first thing in the morning. And you're gonna start grading your film, and you're like, it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. The truth, my friends, lies somewhere in the middle. And so, there were plays that, again, you can't. I don't even like though. I mean, I know it's the word sleepwalking, but it wasn't sleepwalking all the time. It was just plays here and there at the right time, and that's how you end up with 97-6 and down.
It was lack of focus in key situations. They made mistakes, and people
But
just make mistakes.
And it wasn't 11 people on that play. It was 1 or 2 guys, and like it is what it is. I mean, I know nobody had me at being the Ole Miss psychologist. Dave, just chill the fuck out. It's all right. Next game.
Again, had you lost by 3, be pissed at the world right now.
Oh
God.
Lost the game. We could have a good one. We wouldn't be Diet Miller time. It'd be bourbon time. You know what I mean? I mean, it'd be awesome. But like, it's okay. I mean, there are worse things that could happen. You're 6-0, like, you know what I'm saying? There are things. Now I will say this: you got to be a mature team, and you got to go in tomorrow and go, okay, we got to fix this, we got to fix that. We're not good here, we're not good there, but you can't like, dude, winning's hard. And I know everybody made fun of me for saying that a few weeks ago. We were talking about this game 2 weeks ago. Winning is hard. Those people on the other sideline, they get paid a lot of money to coach too. And those players, they get paid money too. They want to win too. And it's everybody in your 18. I mean, look, you got 18 to 22-year-old kids that are getting paid millions of dollars. Okay. The sense of entitlement is like at a 50. And now they've had 2 weeks of everybody telling them how good they are, and they got punched in the mouth. Good news is they found a way to win the game. Period. They got punched in the mouth. But you know how long Lane and that staff is going to spend tomorrow? Do you know how long Lane and that staff is going to spend tomorrow just browbeating them over this game? Do you know how long, Chase? About 1 second, because Georgia is next week, and you're 6-0, and you got to figure out a way to win next week. You can't spend 2 days worrying about, oh, we didn't look great against Washington State. The shit's over. It's 6-0. You got to move on to the next one, and it's a big one. I bet you Lane Kiffin's TV's tuned on to ESP or ABC tonight. I bet you he's watching ABC tonight or whatever, ESPN, whatever it's on.
Feed up, Georgia, Auburn.
He's not a big feed up guy, but yeah.
You make a great point though, because look, I mean, somebody said, hey, they get paid. They do. And that means they criticize them all you want. They're professionals. Go ahead. I'm not, back 20 years ago, I go, hey, player, we're going to delete this, lay off. No, have at it. They're getting paid a lot of money. They're getting paid a lot more money than a lot of people that work every day that are adults get paid. At the same time, the entitlement is 100% so damn high.
Oh, it's
that
bad, man.
I mean, dude, you're dealing with an entirely different animal at this point.
And it's look, go ahead.
You describing the what you do after an 11 a.m. game was sounds like a pretty torturous existence. It's like, so the staff finally gets some time off, and you're pouring a beer, and you're just pissed off the whole time while you get to watch, like, relax for a short amount of time. That didn't sound like a ton of fun.
I will say this: winning, when you're coaching, when you win, even big games that you're supposed to be happy, you're never really happy. It's like it's more of a relief than it
Yes.
is happy. It's a different world, man. It's a different world. I mean, you literally spend. I mean, you don't have an off day. There's no real off day from basically middle of July until February, and so you got these exams that are out of your control. And so it's just relief. You know, it is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Arkansas 10-10 with Tennessee right now. That's 10:35 to go, second quarter in that one. Petrino and his Razorbacks trying to scare the hell out of the Vols there in Neyland. Got a halftime in Oklahoma and Texas. I think 6-3 Sooners is where we are on that right now. And then what's going on with Oregon and Indiana? Where are we at with
How
that
about
game?
them? How about them fighting Signetti's up 13-10 at the half?
Wow.
He's a hell of a football coach.
I got two rules. I said it on the show the other day. I got two rules. Rule number one: never bet with your heart. Rule number two: never bet against Kurt Signetti, ever. You can bet with him or don't play it, but never bet against him. Never bet against him. That guy's a freaking winner, man.
Okay, and we got a lot of time to kill here. We're waiting on Neil, and again, the Ole Miss won a game that there's no reason to analyze the hell out of. You're moving on. And Georgia hasn't played yet. And I'm being serious with this. It's going to sound like a dumb question, but I'm being serious. Um, at the college level, what is the difference in a good coach and an elite coach like that? I mean, you've got Lane that's such a good up at Ole Miss. You've got Signetti. I mean, like, what is it? What makes the damn difference, especially at programs that don't just simply bring in the best players and go be robots out there?
Yeah, I think a head coach has two responsibilities in college. One is to recruit, and whatever that looks like, even given what period of rules that we're in every 5 minutes. But you're the ultimate no guy in a roster, right? So it's your job to do that. Number two, and probably the most important thing when it comes to the team is not necessarily is about culture. You've heard the word of coaching the coaches, but you have to. It's your job to establish the culture. And his players, I think what he's done in Indiana is probably one of the most remarkable jobs. He took over a team, and shout out to Tom Allen. Tom did a good job. Tom got them to success levels that they had not had in a long time, right? And then, in coaching, which what happened is what happened to Tom. Tom's at Indiana. He has the 10-win season. All of a sudden, they expect it every year, right? But the thing that Signetti did that's so impressive, he went to a place that had not won in a long time. I mean, they won with Tom. They won 10 games, and I think it was in the COVID year or the year after, whatever it was. They had
Yeah,
the good year.
because Ole Miss played them in the Outback Bowl or whatever it was that year.
That was when Michael Penix Jr. was his quarterback, and he didn't play in the bowl
Mm-hmm.
game. But anyway, long story short is he just instills a confidence in his players, man, the way he is. And he's kind of the guy that he's kind of like a Diego Pavia, but as a coach, I mean, he talks his shit, but he backs it up, and the players feed on that. And I think your teams take on the personality of your head coach. I do, and everywhere I've ever been, I think that's been the case. I think that's one of the. I think that's the job of a head coach. I know a lot of people think it's about, like, you get mad. I always make the joke at Ole Miss. It's like, if the offense is doing really good, that means Lane had a good game plan. If they suck, it was like Charlie sucked today. It's never, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So but the head coach, especially the ones that don't call plays, it's to coach the coaches. It's to establish a narrative of a game plan, but to establish a culture inside the players and recruit. That's what they do.
He's an interesting story too. I was watching an interview recently. It may have been on game day, but I can't remember where I saw it. But he was talking about, like, he was on staff with Saban at Alabama, and they were asking him, like, why he went and took that head coaching job at IUPUI. And he was like, "Well, I was about to be 50. I thought I could be a pretty good head coach, but, like, my wife thought I was insane because they were going to take a pay cut." I think, like, one of the only reasons she agreed is because it's where around the area they're both from. But like, I'm curious, Siski, with a guy like that that's won so much. I know he was an unproven commodity at that point. But like, why do you figure a guy like that never got a shot sooner?
Well, he was, his dad was a coach, and
Yeah,
so
at
his dad.
IUPUI, right?
Yes, he's been at
Yeah,
other places, but that's where he was a head coach there, right?
yeah.
Signetti was on coach's first staff at Alabama, and I was actually coaching at St. Paul's at the time, and he was a receivers coach, and he came in like he would come down a ton because we had a best player I've ever coached at any level was on my high school team, a kid named Destin Hood, and so he was a national recruit, and everybody was recruiting him, and Signetti came down there all the time, and got to meet him and know him then, and then through the years, he'd been at PUI, whatever it is. Then he went to James Madison and won there, and then went to Indiana. And then dealing with him from my daily job and all that stuff. Just they're just extremely organized. He's kind of got, in a weird way, he's like a shit talking Coach Saban, if that makes any sense. He's extremely organized, efficient, does what he does. But I say shit talking. He's very confident, and his confidence exudes with his players. And the reason he's at Indiana today, probably, and I think Neil and I were talking about this the other day on our show, was that his age, he's 63, 64 years old. It's a young man's game, and ADs still have this this fascination that they're going to get a coach and he's going to stay there forever, and so they're worried about hiring. They don't realize that 99.9% of the coaches got a lifespan of like 3 to 4 years, right? So
Just win and figure it out. Like, whatever.
I think the guy's the real deal now. I'm talking about like I got, I always say I hate doing a top 5 of coaches because everybody's like, well, you left out my guy. You didn't put my guy as head coach. They get all emotional. But if I had a top 5, Signetti's going to be in it, along with Matt Rule, by the way. He's another one that gets overlooked.
You do like some Matt Rule.
I do. I mean, the guy is nothing but a winner. It's a good one.
Signetti last year just loses the 2 games, loses at Ohio State 38-15, and then obviously in the playoff 27-17 there in South Bend in that game. So yeah, there's that. Does the brashness of a guy like that, I mean, and again, maybe he didn't lose enough for it damn matter, but is there a balance necessary? I mean, when you're that brash, when they lose a couple or you get punched in the mouth, is it hard to get them back because you're so far that way? I mean, is there a levelness that is needed at times?
I think it's easier to get them back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get them back. I mean, look, Lane's the same way. All right. He just doesn't do it in public. Lane's not any different. I mean, you just don't hear about it. Lane talks his shit too now. Every once in a while, he'll get caught on TV talking shit. Lane's like that too, right? You just don't. It's just not as public. Lane's better behind a mic. Lane won't say it as much. I say that. Lane uses Twitter, but Lane's got his shit too now. He ain't scared.
Yeah, I mean, guys, again, you can be pissed at the effort today. Go ahead. It's just gonna happen. Like, I'm sure Ole Miss is glad you showed up and you were there, but no, I don't do what?
You still mad in the chat?
Yeah. Says, I agree with you. Ole Miss fans that attended the game today deserve to be pissed at that level of effort to perform. There's another one up here. Tom, thanks for Super Chat. Says, Ole Miss looking past this game. Some serious flaws shown. No, there's no serious flaws. Same flaws as all year. I mean, look, they're not a perfect team. I mean, it's the one thing you haven't seen. I don't know. I still think teams that can line up and really run at you are going to be a problem for Ole Miss. They have not had that as an opponent yet. I still think defensively that's going to be your biggest thing. Okay, well, all right.
Particularly to the left side of the offense.
Yeah.
Particularly to the left side. Right side, you'll be all right. Left side, I don't know.
Yeah. The response there was stemming from Hottie Toddy 83. Says, costs a lot of money to attend the game. Not everyone makes $10 million a year. How about you get your team ready to play a game, and maybe people were more apt to stay and watch your team? No, Had it been a blowout, more people would have left. Actually, is how that would have worked. It'd have been a smaller crowd had Ole Miss done that. So yeah,
You
all
know,
right.
you and Neil have like programmed me in weird ways,
Uh huh.
and I noticed like that was when last week I was like, oh, like before all this North Carolina stuff started this week. I don't know if y'all watched any of the Clemson North Carolina game last week in the bye week, but like North Carolina was playing so bad, the entire student section. I'm talking about everybody, all of them, the entire damn. I mean, there wasn't a soul. They just all got up and left at the same time. I was like, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it's not good. Shit's gonna get weird this week. But
Like an
yeah,
organized
I would.
walkout.
Oh, I just saw. Oh, that's who is that? I just saw the replay that I missed. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. That's our boy 3. Just freaking, just straight, just whiffed on the run fit.
What
That's why
happened?
they're long. They just showed her. Told you I missed the first drive coming out of the second half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just saw the long touchdown run, and our boy number 3 just freaking threw the no hitter.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is 18-1 in their last 19 home games. Pretty sure that's right. Now it was a bad one, but still won. Pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah, they got. Is there not? I mean, you go to practice. There's not anybody behind 3. Ain't got anybody else besides 3 back there.
When do you think I've seen a practice last, Siski? No, you think you think we see team drills?
I'm just
I've
looking
seen
for
about 20 minutes of team drills the entire year.
I'm just looking for pulses at this point. Anybody with
Okay.
a pulse? Anybody with a pulse and a different jersey than 3?
Look, it's the thing we talk about a good bit with the portal is give Ole Miss a lot of credit. They find guys who fit needs and fill roles, and sometimes you get guys that simply are what they are. Like, I mean, a lot of times you see the jersey the former guy was, the team the guy was at, and you go, oh well, he's going to be this different dude for me. It's like, no, sometimes he's just that.
Yeah.
And that's where he's at, and I think that's what you're talking about.
He freaking threw a freaking no hitter on that one. I mean, just freaking just 1-on-1. Hey,
Oh, is that what they're doing? Bobblefish said he talked to Washington State fans who drove to Oxford and now driving to Virginia for the game next week.
All right, so fun fact. So I'm probably gonna get myself in trouble here, but like at the end of our neighborhood is they have the shuttles. That's how I go to the game. So I'll walk. To
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
everybody in my neighborhood does it. The poor old lady, she's probably just pissed at us every Saturday. But our whole neighborhood walks to the end of our neighborhood, and there's the shuttles that go to the stadium that drop right in front of the stadium, all that stuff, right? And so in the parking lot today, I mean, dude, I bet there were 15 cars, Washington tags with Washington State. I'm like, holy smoke, that's a haul. Washington tags, Washington State. And then yesterday, my son's in the band. So yesterday they had the homecoming parade. So we went up to the square last night or yesterday afternoon and watched them. Ton of Washington State people here. I just didn't realize that they drove. But dude, there were 15 cars in the parking lot. I'm like, dude.
They were all over town the last couple of days. I mean, they were all over town. Those cats were everywhere.
That's a haul. I mean, dude, from Pullman, Washington. You ever been to Pullman, Washington?
I can't say I have. It's right on the Idaho border, however.
It is. Fun fact, the Arkansas State Red Bulls played the University of Idaho in Pullman while the Kiwi Dome was getting renovated.
They played at Washington State?
Yeah. It's 8 miles apart between Moscow, Idaho, and Pullman, Washington. They're 8 miles apart.
Really?
Yeah.
That, I mean, a bad note here for whatever, but that was the guy that killed those Idaho students. He went to Washington State.
Yeah, the towns are only 8 miles apart. I mean, like literally.
Yeah. That's right.
It says it's a 30-hour and 44-minute drive.
Well, like I saw the guy, there was a post on our board talking about the truck driver for the equipment for them and what his year looks like. Because outside of going to Corvallis once, he goes to Fort Collins. He goes to Virginia twice. He goes to JMU and Charlottesville and not back to back. Goes to Oxford. It's like 31,000 miles or something for the year, something like
And
that.
they play 6 road games, if I'm not mistaken. I was curious. I mean, obviously driving's worse, but like I bet getting a flight here and getting here flying is probably not that convenient either. I wonder how people flew from Pullman to Oxford.
Yeah, I don't even know what commercial
I don't know
airport
how
they
you
would
do that.
use. I don't know what airport is closest for them to do like a cross country flight. I have no
The
clue.
airport we landed in was a regional airport. Like it had planes. Hey, by the way, shout out to my guy Neil McCready over there. I thought about him all day today as I saw UCLA.
Tyler, we don't want to get to the point where you think about me all day long. That's not good.
It was better. It was in my sleep, but I stopped doing that now. I stopped dreaming about it. Now it's just regular.
I'm glad.
But
What are we talking about?
shout out to my man Neil McCready, because he always said when you do the interim thing, be careful what you're doing. Shout out to the Ole Miss fans. Shout out to my 3-year buy. Shout out to Ross Bjork. Hey, UCLA 38, Michigan State 13. The new coach at UCLA. Everybody's gonna be like, "Well, see what? Why we gotta go pay this? We can go pay this."
Exactly, 100%.
Rev shares a real thing, boys and girls. By the way,
never hire
Hogs.
Never
hire. Up 7, about to be a tie game, but they're up. Don't let Bobby Petrino.
So all we keep seeing is this Neuheisel thing. Who is UCLA's actual interim head coach?
No idea.
That's what I was about to say. Tim Skipper. His name's Tim Skipper. Like, why is that guy not planting his flag, being like, "To hell with this"?
But this dude's resume, I mean, he is now Rippy. Let me put an asterisk on what we said after you win or lose a game. Now the UCLA coach, the interim guy, he's getting on the plane from Michigan, flying back to UCLA with all the boosters, and his freaking chest is poked out. Like, I mean, he's double fisting Diet Millers. I mean, he's stone cold Steve Austin. I mean, he's letting them know that he's the man.
He needs to let America know he's the man. I got tricked into thinking Neuheisel was the interim head coach. I had to Google that last Sunday. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
No, he's never been a full-time coach. Actually, he's 2-0 as an assistant coach. He's on fire.
Oh, I thought he was like the tight ends coach or something.
I thought he was an analyst. He could be. I thought he was an analyst.
But as the coordinator and the play caller, that dude, yeah, he's living right 2-0. I did laugh this morning. I saw do what?
He's the only one they're showing on TV. The poor, like, that's why we have no idea who the actual coach is.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just saw highlights, and it was nothing but Neuheisel the whole time. It's great.
Well, because he's Mr. UCLA. I mean, that's who he is. That's who we got. That's what we got here.
Shout out to our guy Noel Mazzoni. Noel Mazzoni is actually back on helping him out. So Noel's a hell of a coach.
Is Noel back at UCLA?
Yeah, they hired him to help Neuheisel.
Oh, okay. I love
Tim
Mazzoni.
Skipper is the coach.
Yeah, that guy.
So Tim Skipper previously was just the special assistant to the head coach there. He was the interim at Fresno last year, or in 24. He was an assistant at Fresno. He's been an assistant at Central Michigan. Oh, I remember him when he was at Florida. Back in the day, he was like a recruiter, assistant coach at Florida about 10 years ago. I knew the name rung a bell, and I couldn't remember why.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2015 to 2018, he was an assistant coach at Florida.
Is he actually the interim coach? Like, have we seen a picture of him on the sideline?
He appears to exist.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But it is a weird notion when he's had 2 weeks where he should be the guy, like you said, getting all the pub, and yet instead everybody at UCLA and nationally, they just want the blonde-headed beach kid to be the dude. So it's an interesting move.
If you did a national poll right now, 75% of Americans would think Neuheisel is the interim coach.
Yes,
I got tricked into it last week. Weldon and I talked about it, and I had to Google it after the fact. And I was like, "Shit, this is all wrong."
That is a good point. I don't know. I mean, it's the Cougar is not the Cougar logo on the screen is not a bad logo because it spells out WSU. But I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why the I is missing or whatever there. I guess it's like it's out because of the I. That's a weird spot in the logo to be missing the red or the crimson, as they say right there.
As long as the Texas Tech guy doesn't go and try to change the logo, we're in good shape.
Well,
They went to Temple
I
Tech.
never knew.
they did.
I never knew that spelled out WSU, which, speaking of, after the last postgame show, I probably had 25 people text me of how fighter pilots refuel in the air. Just step-by-step explanations. I had somebody at my day job was like, hey, my husband wants to show you this. It's like, here's how they refuel in the air. I was like, okay, apparently I'm an idiot. So thanks for people out there educating me in the process.
Neil, it looked like Lane Kiffin was upset at everyone, including himself and the fans and the team, and all involved with the Ole Miss football program today.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He was not pleased. He said they didn't. He got to the room faster than I can ever remember him getting to the room. He said that they didn't sing the song, whatever song it is that they sing. They didn't sing the song. He did not want them to feel good about it. He took a shot at the students. He did. What are we laughing at?
You won, but you will not like it. No, sir.
Yeah. I thought I'd said something stupid. I was like, well,
no.
par for the course. He wasn't happy, but he pointed out routinely, and I haven't heard everything you guys have said, but I'll say this: they did win. And at the end of the day, and I do believe what I'm about to say to be true, these next 2-3 weeks are going to define the season, not what happened today. Today will be an afterthought, one way or the other. If Ole Miss goes on and goes to the playoffs, no one will go, I just wish they'd beaten Washington State worse. And if they don't, it won't be about the Washington State game. Now, some freaky play at the end where Washington State wins, we're having a different conversation, right? But they won the game. They weren't particularly laser focused. I wrote this in my column. They're not robots. They're people. They read press clippings. They were coming off of an open date, early game, 30-something point favorite against the team that, lost by 40-something points to North Texas. They just beaten LSU, and they had Georgia on deck. The makings of this ends up getting uncomfortable were all there. And so I think that's the overriding thing to me is that, the whole people looking for flaws or whatnot. It's like every other team. They're flawed. This is not a perfect football team at all. There are some things that they just don't do consistently well. Defensively, they're a little thin in some spots. You saw some of that today. They did some stupid things that Deshaun Womack, the person that Lane Kiffin hates the most right now is Deshaun Womack. There's no question about that. Right now, he's having someone make a Deshaun Womack doll, and he is going to poke it with needles like all night long. He was so mad at Deshaun
That
Womack.
hit on the head that extended the scoring drive.
Yeah, because they were getting off the field right there, and it was a good call. Lane, I think at first was going to make a half-hearted effort to bitch about the call, and then he stopped, and he just started yelling at Womack because he knew it was the right call. You can't go hit the quarterback in the head. Just slap at him. You just can't do it. And they called it, and he was pissed, and it's going to probably be a minute before Deshaun's back in his good graces. This is not going to be a week that Deshaun Womack looks back on happily. But they got out of it. They escaped. They got it done. They won the game. I think he's a little perturbed that they've had 3 games now where they had 2 score leads and they let the team back into the game. Kentucky, Arkansas, and now Washington State. They had those games at one point in hand and they couldn't put them away, and that bothers them. There were a couple of players, Caden Lee, Trinidad Chambliss, that both said the same thing. Look, if we play like this again, it's going to catch us. If we play like this again, we're going to get beat. They're right. The odds are they're not going to play like this again. Now, does that mean they're going to go win the rest of the games? Absolutely not. Not necessarily, but they're going to have a different level of intensity for Georgia than they had today. And look, I heard Rosiski said he's been playing the role of psychologist. I don't want to be the one that plays the role of Homer here, but if you made me bet, I would bet that today ends up being a good thing for this team.
Texas in the end zone. Arch Manning directing a scoring drive. Longhorns PAT pending to make it 10-6. There in the Red River rivalry. He hits it 10-6 now in that one. Are we do what?
Is Mateer playing?
He is. Yes, he is playing. Is what's our Arkansas-Tennessee situation, Siski?
17-17.
17-17. Razorbacks and Volunteers. Principal got to the quarterback a couple times, had a huge sack once there. Eccles has been great. Frankly, Eccles, from a production standpoint, has been their most productive defensive lineman so far this season.
I wrote about this. They had 4 sacks, but 3 came in the fourth quarter. They did not do much of a job of getting to the quarterback in the first 3 quarters, and that's an issue for this team. Like, it's something they got to get a little better at because they're not great against the run either. And that's not the best combination in the world. Like, you're not great against the run and you struggle to get to the quarterback. That can be problematic. I actually thought they played okay on the back end, other than the busts early in the game. That was weird. But, I mean, I didn't think they were like asleep or something. They just didn't execute a few things. And then the game changes over time and Washington State starts going, hey, we're in this. And, hey, credit to their fans, by the way. I was dead wrong Thursday night. I said they wouldn't bring anybody. They brought tons of people. And they
brought more than LSU did.
Oh, yeah. And kudos to them. And they were really loud. I mean, when they got down on the field at the end, they were in it. Good for them. They looked like they had a fun time.
Yeah, apparently I was talking to somebody at Ole Miss, said that they had filled up the entire library last night and were going crazy because they're watching the Mariners game. So all the Washington State fans had taken over the library and were like, they had the Mariners sound on for them, and they were like throwing beer and stuff. And like when it ended, they were like taking shirts off and throwing it and everything as the Mariners won the game there. So
behave like that in a library. Come on, that's a place for people to learn, people trying to read.
How are we feeling about the Cubs today, Neil?
Oh God.
Because let's set this real quick. For 162 games, you were not bought in, and it took one playoff game 4, to get to a make or break where you're going to be frustrated, but not have watched it. Like I don't know. I almost feel like you're setting yourself up for problems here.
I mean, I got really into it that Thursday when I was in Maine and they were playing the Padres in that winner-take-all game. I kind of got more into that game than I meant to, like to the point where Laura was like, you want to go get dinner? I'm like, I can't leave now. I mean, we're here. I have to watch this. And I did, and I hate the Brewers. You know, when you're a Cubs fan, you hate the Cardinals, you hate the Brewers. It's like, I could lose to the Diamondbacks or something. It's like, it's fine.
The Brewers have they have no postseason history.
It'd be like Ole Miss fans if they got to like 9-2 and they went and lost in Starkville. That would be the worst, right? I mean, that's how the Brewers thing is.
How many times the Brewers have no postseason success? What are you mad about?
I'm not mad. I just don't want to lose to them. I mean, I can handle losing to the Dodgers because they're like the evil empire and $8 gazillion for everybody. They went out and just bought the whole country of Japan and put it on their roster. And I mean, you know, like you can lose to them and you're like, well, of course, you know, I mean, they couldn't just stop at Shohei. They had to get Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki. And like I said, they just bought the whole damn Japanese Nippon League or whatever and said, we'll just take the best players as they come and put them in.
Did you just say
bought Freddie Freeman? The what league?
Did you say the Napalm League?
Nippon. Napalm. That's the Vietnamese league. The Napalm League is the other.
Drew Pomeranz is starting this game for the Cubs tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, he's starting. I think it's mostly to get through Christian Yelich and then just try to get through the first and then hand it to one of their other starters to sort of work the bottom part of the Brewers lineup. We'll see. I hope. Drew's been really, really good for the Cubs and been great in the postseason, so I hope it works.
I would love to have gotten some Vegas odds in like April on, hey, Drew Pomeranz is starting Game 5 of the NLDS for a team come October. We could have all gone to an island.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could have bought your own island.
Yes.
Just bought it.
So I feel like the word of the day has got to be one of the two. It's either the Nippon League or napalm for our word of the day. I don't care which one. We can choose which we choose there, but that feels like where we are again, giving away things this week as well. Building up to again South Carolina week. This helmet or one just like it is what we'll do with the Carolina week here. The new Realtree print.
I don't hate that.
It's the best looking one. I think it's the best of the three, especially in person. The pictures don't really do it justice. You can either just have it or you can have it signed by Lane Kiffin. Either one, if you win it. So that is that. Again, appreciate Realtree, realtree.com. But this week, yeah, we're gonna use. I tell you what, I like the spelling. So we're gonna do the Nippon League, the actual name of the Jap. Siski's mad. You want to change it? Go ahead. Your show. What would you like to do, Siski?
There's going to be 4 people that spell that correctly, and their all last name is going to be McCready. Everybody's last name spells that correctly is going to be McCready.
Yeah, but nobody in my family is going to want the helmet. I can get the helmet.
The helmet is not this week. The helmet is South Carolina week. I just have the helmet in my hands.
What's the prize for this?
It's going to be Judy, Caroline, Campbell. I mean, that's going to be the entrance.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, by the way, those helmets would look badass if they wore them on the road and went white on white with those helmets. That would be badass.
Oh, that would be a good look.
I'm Tyler. I'm just saying, Tyler. I'm just saying. I mean, you know people. And pull that shit off. Let's go.
So do you want the word to be napalm today?
Yeah, let's go napalm.
All right, napalm is the word. Again, here's the rule on this. Because you guys start emailing me immediately. It does not count if you send it during the show. The show has to be over prior to me getting the email for you to go into the competition for the week. But so napalm is the word. As we get into this week's giveaway, we'll pick it. We'll announce it. Yeah, again, you can either just have a helmet like it, or you can have it signed by Lane Kiffin. Your call. Up to you.
Hey, shout out today, 3 hours and 20 minutes game time.
That's
Got a
good.
game in well under 3.5 hours.
And you were all paranoid when I left. You were all worried about the game time.
Well, it's because you started talking about how fast it was going, and you know better than that. That's like that was.
It's not
Bush
baseball.
That was just Bush League on your part.
It's not baseball. No. Baseball is the only sport where that's a rule.
No, it's not true. You don't ever talk about the speed of a game when a game is moving quickly, especially when you're going to be the one to get up and leave at halftime. That was weak. That was weak. You're putting a hex on everyone else when you do that. That was absurd on your part. Luckily for all of us, I mean, for people that don't want to know, Chase was like, "Hey, I enjoy all those overtimes." I mean, you're just like, dude.
I did when I walked out tell Neil, I said, this is going to be the one day you appreciate all those 2-point conversions in overtime. You hate those bad boys, but you're going to love them now. That's what's coming. Oh, okay, they want me to spell napalm. Should I do that or like?
Absolutely not.
I had to Google napalm. Holy shit. I shouldn't have done that. But no, don't spell it for him. That gives it away.
Hey, check this out. Rippy, check this out. Back in 1967, they refueled planes in the air and then dropped napalm. They did both.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of questionable links I get this week. Last week it was just explaining fighter pilot jets. This could.
Oh!
Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna exit out of this.
What are you reacting to? What are you watching?
Mateer about threw a pick six, and he got lucky that the kid dropped it.
He's been a little rough for the last quarter or so, hasn't he?
I mean, damn, Chase. He's got a freaking plate and screw in his hands 15 days ago.
I mean,
Then play the other guy. That's not. I mean, okay. Like,
I'll take plate and screws over the other guy. I'll take plate and screws over the other guy.
I'll give game day credit. I was getting the Peloton ride in. Damn, that dude. I don't know who Tennessee's quarterback is, but that dude just went.
Oh,
look at that.
I just saw it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll give ESPN credit. I normally don't watch that show, and they did a thing on the actual surgery of Mateer. Man, dude, like that's you're gonna feel that when you're out playing.
But Neil, did you see the whole? I'm with you, but did you know? Like, they don't even know if that's the bone he broke. They're assuming. They're like, if this was the surgery that he had, they don't even know.
I didn't have the volume up. I just was watching the video.
I mean, they're probably right.
They could be for sure. I mean, but they're like, if he broke this bone, this is the ways that you can fix it. And I'm like, wait a minute, you don't even know if that's the actual bone he broke or not. It was kind of interesting. But my favorite part was they were like, it depends on how much he deals with pain. I was like, objection, Your Honor. He isn't feeling anything today, boss. Like
Don't you have to feel your hand though?
So there's two shots, right? So when you get hurt, there's two shots you get. You get a shot of Toradol in the ass, okay, and that kind of dulls the pain, and then you get a shot where it hurts. In that situation, he would not get a shot where it hurts because it would make it numb. But he's got enough Toradol rolling through his veins that he's probably not feeling a whole lot. I imagine he got another little pick me up at halftime, and it usually lasts. Depending on when they did it, if you do it, you usually do it in between warm ups and but when you go into the locker room before you come back out, that's usually when you get the Johnny Feel Good. But I imagine with him being a quarterback and having to throw to get loose, I imagine they did it early, and he probably had to get another little pick me up at halftime.
Sonny, maybe he's breaking news. I don't know. Thanks for Super Chat, though. Says Laney Wilson's going to do something cool for Ole Miss the weekend of the South Carolina game. Bet the attendance will be much better. Yes, Ole Miss will have better attendance against the Gamecocks here in a few weeks, the next home game.
Yeah, I mean, it was fall break for a lot of schools. I mean, the whole 8 home games. That's why schools don't want 8 home games. It's hard to get people to come to 8 games.
You don't have to worry about it for much longer. You'll be having the Aflac pick me up game in Dallas before too long.
I don't think it's Dallas, but something might be coming. We'll see.
Not my first rodeo.
Saying
I missed out on something. Did you report something, Chase?
No. I have not said a word.
Chase,
I have not said a word publicly.
Did you just report that? That's what I heard. I heard Chase Parham just said on the MPW Digital Postgame show presented by Realtree that Ole Miss is going to be playing their first SEC game on the road.
No, that's not what I was saying at all. No, that's not it. That is not even what I was alluding to.
And he said it was going to be a landmine.
What he's alluding to is that the Ole Miss Pitt games, which was scheduled,
it's in peril.
It's in dire straits, dire peril.
And this late in the process, there is the possibility of a neutral site opener for Ole Miss.
Sponsored by Aflac.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so.
How about that?
Somebody else stepping up with that $5 million. What other company stepping up with that $5 million?
Or sorry, if so, at least not in the area that. No, I have not heard a word about a game being in Atlanta. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So let's go there. I don't know.
All right.
Got to be a little. There's a part of that I got to be really careful on right now. I'm embargoed for a minute.
We'll have some other companies.
Pitt State only leads Northwestern 14-13 at the half.
Well, they suck. They're not a contender. That's what we've learned. So.
But I guess I'm like, this is the part of the day where I sort of catch up on what else has happened. It looks like today was a weird day in general, right?
Oh, it's going to get weirder.
But am I right? Today's been a little weird.
There hasn't really been upset. Well, the only upset's been Pitt over Florida State.
And that's really not an upset. Since Pitt changed quarterback, I was scared to death. I almost took that as my money line. When Pitt changed quarterbacks, they benched Eli Holstein. They've been scoring points. They've been firing it up. So the thing, it's Neil's deal that he talks about all the time is like, dude, when you like Florida State's lost 2 in a row and they laid it all on the line last week against Miami and they're done. They're 0-3 to start the year in the league.
Once you get a third loss, it's night.
Well, they're
1-10 in the last 11 ACC games.
Wow. How the hell they beat Alabama? Alabama looked good today.
They did. We hadn't talked about that game much. They did. Both teams looked good, and Bama showed a lot of mettle in that game.
I think that game was closer than what it actually was. I think that Missouri's got 2 really good defensive ends that cause some issues, and they got they scored. They got the field goal at the end of half to make it 7. Alabama had the ball coming out, fumbled inside their own 20, gave up the quick touchdown. That game could have been. That was. I thought Alabama was much better than a 3-point team than Missouri.
I thought Alabama's defense was really good most of the day.
They scored the first drive. It was like the 5th straight game that Missouri opened up the game with a touchdown. They scored the first drive, and they scored the field goal before half. Then they got the turnover. So 17 points came out of the first drive. The very end of the half, they got a field goal and getting a turnover inside the 20.
That's when the strip sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, guys, a reminder here: if you email me during the show, you are not eligible to be in the contest. I've gotten an email, and it's somebody who didn't listen for the next 10 seconds because they emailed me. They emailed Nippon League to me during the show. It's like that is wrong on all accounts.
Hang on. Can we? If they spelled Nippon League correctly, do they get in? I mean, we ought to get.
No, it's not the word, and it's during the show. I do not accept an entry prior to the show being done.
We don't do participation trophies at MPW Digital, Tyler. We don't give out 5th place rings. You know what I mean? I mean, this is.
He did, however, spell Nippon League correctly. It is 100% spelled correctly.
Hey, whoever you are, shout out to you.
In what context? Like the NA or the NI? Like what was the word at the end? What was the verdict on that? Is it napalm?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Correct. Yes. That is correct.
Refueled the F4 and then they dropped napalm.
Yeah,
yes, I will also accept the Robert Duvall Apocalypse Now clip if you would like. That also gets you eligible for the let's see, September 22nd of 24, 46 different schools have more wins versus the ACC than Florida State. There's a stat. 13-10 Indiana over Oregon, 8 minutes, third quarter.
Yeah, they dropped.
Third and 6 for the Ducks. Fourth down, though.
I got to give Tyler credit on this one. The Signetti thing. I mean, if I'm an SEC team, maybe I can't get him, but I damn sure try. Like if you tell me I'm running the Arkansas search, the South Carolina search, the Kentucky search, I get it. I probably can't get him, but on my checklist of things that I do before I make a hire is make him say no.
Don't bet against him. You can bet for him or just don't play it.
I make him tell me no, maybe twice before I move on to the next person. Just in case.
But he's not going to say yes to.
I didn't say that he would say yes.
Kentucky or Arkansas or.
You're not listening either.
I am listening. I understand.
If I'm in charge of making that hire, I know he's probably going to tell me no, but he's going to, by God, tell me no before I do something. I'm not going to come back and later find out that maybe he would have said yes. I'm going to offer him the job. And I don't give a shit if he gets out publicly. That's the one thing I've never really understood.
Yeah.
Is like when ADs are like, God, we hired our person. Screw it. You offered the job to the Big Ten Coach of the Year. And he said, no, it's okay. You offered. Tells your fans that you're trying.
Yeah. I swung a big stick. Saw what happened. Okay, we'll move on.
Next.
He'd appreciate it. He'll get a raise out of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you know what else, Tyler, is if I might get him on the phone to tell me no, and on the aftermath of no, I'd say, okay, who would you hire? I might hear a name that I wouldn't have even thought of.
Yeah. It will be. That's the whole thing that's interesting. Like, it's age discrimination in a bad way. That's why he hasn't. That's the number one reason why he's not. That's the only reason that he's because right now, let's be real. When you start talking about candidates, who are the guys that everybody's talking about? It's everybody's 50 and under.
Guys. Yeah, it's young guys.
And it's just a young.
For whatever reason, AD think they're hiring a 15-year coach, when in reality, you're probably hiring a 5-year coach. I mean, none of these cats
2,
stay
3.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes 1. But yeah, it's I think he's. The guy's a winner, man. Guy is a winner, and then we're about an hour and a half away from freaking Custard's last stand in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
So are you calling? I haven't watched your show. I apologize this week. Are you calling for the upset tonight, Siski?
It's on MPW Digital. If you go back, you can download it and go to MPW Digital.
Yeah, right there. Right
It's
there.
right there. It's right there. MPW
Okay.
Digital. I think Auburn. I am calling Auburn to win this game tonight.
Okay.
I will probably be 100% wrong, and
You're 1-2 on picking Auburn.
Yeah, Grind was in the chat and just wearing my ass out. He's like, "Well, you're over." I said, "Well, you forgot that I picked them to beat Baylor."
He did.
I did do that. But
You think
no,
Kirby put it up on the screens in the facility?
Yeah,
We're going to
absolutely.
lose.
Yes.
Hyphen Tyler Siskey.
Absolutely.
It was on the highlight tape. For the show players, 100%. No, I mean, all kidding aside, they do match up well with them. That game's in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Weird shit happens there. And like it's now or never. You know what I mean? It's now or never.
For sure.
Mean, it's one or the other. Like I'm rolling this out there, Chase, just so you know, I'm rolling this out there because there's two things that are going to happen. One, I'm going to be right. And everybody's, well, hey, you picked that game. Or two, I'm going to be wrong. And no one's going to let me know that I was wrong because they're going to be so busy trying to get Hugh fired. So it's a win-win for me.
Hey, Tyler, if you're Lane Kiffin, do you want Georgia to win or lose tonight?
That is a great. We were literally talking about that a little earlier. I don't know, Neil. No, man.
We didn't do it that specifically. You're good.
I think that I don't know. I don't know. Probably win. I don't even know. I mean, I'm assuming you want to say win just because if you do win, it makes it look better. I don't know how Georgia would respond being a 2-loss SEC team next week versus being a 1-loss. I don't know. There's part of me I can see it going both ways. You want it to be as if they go ahead and lose again, you want them to be as much worried about why they lost and losing focus. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if it really matters. I don't know what would be
Georgia
better.
would have 2 losses at that point, so you could go ahead and end their season with a win.
Well,
yeah.
On that note, though, Neil just talked about the third loss being the death knell, and then like kind of the whole theory that Siskey hit on earlier, like you can't really fake desperation at times. And so if Georgia has a second loss, they're not out of it, but I imagine you get as desperate a version of them next week as possible. But like Siskey said, I guess it could go either way.
I don't know. I mean, look, Georgia's like right, wrong, or indifferent. Like if you look at the Tennessee game, their ass was beaten. They got outplayed in the Tennessee game. They did. They won the game, but like culture won that game. Like, you know what I mean? Like they found a way. They stayed in it. Culture won that game. But there's going to come a point. I think it's the third loss, but there's going to come a point to where when you're out of it, and it's the whole thing is like. And I've told people this before, and it was a weird deal. Like we lost to Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl when I was at Alabama in 2013, and Coach brought up a point. He was all worried going to the game because he was like, it's the first game that any player on this team has ever played a meaningless game.
Oh yeah,
it was as crazy as that sounds. It was the very first game that anybody on the field had ever played a meaningless game. And we got our ass kicked. And so...
Was that Blake Bell?
Brother, I don't even remember.
Was that his name? What was his name? The Oklahoma... Trevor... What was his name?
Texas.
Sorry, go ahead.
13.
Trevor Knight. Okay, yeah, all right.
Trevor Knight.
Okay.
But we got our ass kicked. We really didn't... We didn't perform. But... he was worried going to that game because of that. And I think and when you look at somebody like Georgia, when was the last time Georgia played a meaningless game?
Oh, God.
It's been a minute.
You know what I mean? And now you're adding money to it. And so I don't know how that would go, Rippy, to answer your question. I mean, it could go either way. You could see it going either way.
But that wouldn't be meaningless for them next week, right? It would be just to be their back against the wall.
Correct.
No, you lose two this early, it's coming.
It's going to be tough, yeah.
And in this league, the way it is, because I don't think anybody is going undefeated in the league. And when you got half the season left, and then you're going to sit there and you're going to play a whole SEC schedule. Oh, congratulations. You get to end the season with Georgia Tech, who by that time is probably going to have playoff aspirations on their mind. They're undefeated and should have been last year. I mean, there's a lot there.
Indiana and Oregon, 13 up right here. By the way, why does Indiana have that buffalo-looking thing as a mascot? What is the deal there?
That is hilarious that you said that.
The bison.
I literally told my wife, I saw that today on game day, and I said, am I on drugs or when did Indiana get a bison mascot? I today years old when I saw that.
I mean, look, I don't fault anyone for stealing the Thunder stuff. I mean, that makes sense.
Indiana's going to win this game.
Well, of course
people watch Rumble the Bison bang the drum before the game, and they're like, yeah, I should have one of those. I get it. I understand completely.
They readopted it in late 2024. So I mean, it's back brand new.
It says reinstated after a 60-year absence. They just
they dropped it in 1965, or let's see.
What did the Bison do to get banished for that long? That's like 60 to life.
He hung out with Tony the Land Shark.
The worst looking shark I've ever seen in my life. Scared kids.
He dropped napalm.
They only had it from 65 to 69. They said, truth be told, it was a tad terrifying in the 60s.
Brother, I was laughing about that.
A tad terrifying is a great way to describe Tony, the land shark, by the way.
So Bob Droe, the assistant athletics director at Indiana, gave a quote to the newspaper that said the main criticism seems to be it's a beautiful head, but it looks like the devil with a cheerleader in it.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like you went to the strip club with Rippy's friend.
Yeah, Bill Belichick talking about his girlfriend.
The Bison has been relegated to the storeroom for lack of interest. That does sound like Tony the Land Shark, actually.
Yeah.
I still remember old Tony the Land Shark making that appearance at the coaches function, and Knox just hauling ass in the opposite direction. Knox was like 3. It was like in a full sprint, like just running.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Oh, all right. Last thing, predictions. Anybody changing from Thursday or whenever y'all did picks? What we got? We got Auburn and Georgia. Neil, you sticking?
Hunker down.
Okay, hunker down. Rippy.
Yeah, I picked Auburn. I'm sticking with it. Although someone in the chat that points out that at Custer last stand he lost and killed himself. So I'm not sure the analogy totally plays. But I am going to stick with it. I'm sticking with Auburn. I picked him Thursday. I'm sticking with it.
I don't know what they're teaching.
The ghost of Jordan Hare are coming out tonight, and Hugh Freeze will get another 7-day contract before Missouri comes to town.
We could get some good views on a History with Rippy podcast. We go through some American and Native history over the course of the last few hundred years. See how it comes out. Anybody picking South Carolina against LSU or all Tigers? No? Okay.
I got Gamecocks cover. Gamecocks cover.
Anybody got Florida straight up against the Aggies?
No, but I got them covering.
Okay.
I have them covering. That game could be interesting depending on how they protect Lagway.
All right. And then we got Cubs or Brewers?
Cubbies.
Pain.
Shout out Justin Steele. I've turned in. My Braves fandom's starting. I might have to start freaking sporting one of those 97 hats that Neil has over there behind his back over there.
I will say Justin Steele in our stream on Thursday said, don't let the Cubs get to Game 5.
It's very reminiscent of Red Sox Yankees. They said don't let them get to 7. You never know. Hey, it's.
That was Dan Shaughnessy's column after Game 3, where he called the Red Sox a bunch of frauds, and Kevin Millar took umbrage with that. And before the game, did you know this? This is the history on this.
Yeah.
Before the game, Kevin Millar confronted Dan Shaughnessy down on the field, and he said, "Come on, man, you're better than that." And Dan Shaughnessy's response was, "You guys are better than that." And they kind of worked it out. And by the end, Kevin Millar goes, "But don't let us win the night."
Because then you got Pedro, then you got Kurt.
And Shaughnessy, being a phenomenal columnist than he is, said, well, what happens if you win the night? And he says, well, we got PD in game 5, talk about Pedro Martinez, Schilling in game 6, and anything could happen in a game 7. Don't let us win the night. And you know the rest. The Red Sox won the World Series and totally changed the history of baseball. Theo Epstein gets credit for it. I mean, it was a phenomenal story. So, I mean,
Dave Roberts steals the bag, and off we go, and there we are. So, yeah.
There are very few stories in the history of sports that are more romantic than that one.
I love that story. Actually, yeah, it's one of my favorite sports.
The best part,
is Red Sox
the best part of that story is that team story is Theo Epstein talks about, they won in St. Louis and they flew back late night. They celebrated. They're all drunk. They're on the plane. They all fly back. They get on the buses, and by this point, everybody's kind of unconscious, And he says the sun is rising in Boston. And as the bus is going, he looks out into this cemetery, and there were people out in the cemetery putting like Red Sox stuff on headstones. And he said, even he grew up in New England. He said he didn't realize until that moment what it had meant to snap the curse and to win a World Series for Boston.
Indiana has now scored, and they win this one. They're kind of catbirdy a little bit with the remaining schedule for making the playoff. Yeah.
All right, I got a question. I know you got to go, Chase. I got a question for you.
You're good.
If Northwestern pulls off this upset and beats Penn State, is James Franklin fired?
Didn't Penn State just score?
Yeah, they're up. It's fourth quarter though.
Okay.
I mean, brother,
is he fired today? No, but he is not coaching next season at Penn State.
$56 million.
He will leave himself to some degree.
Why?
I'm just telling you.
Why would he do that?
It's human.
Chase, let me ask you a question. If people were mad at you at 247 and you had a $56 million buyout,
you couldn't pry me out of the chair with any capacity whatsoever. Okay, it's a bad take. I changed my mind. No, he's not. But I do think they would pay it. I think they'd find a way to negotiate it down, do something, pay it. I don't think he would coach next season.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
That was a big pick right there.
So, yeah, bad take, but I still don't think he would coach next season. Sorry, I'll reframe. That's where we are. Realtree.com. Again, got the helmet in a few weeks, but for now, got to give away napalm, your word. Now, once we end the show, didn't see that coming. Didn't know how we're going to get there today, but we did. So, let you know. Yeah, there you go. Brian's already gone, so appreciate his time there during the show today. We will be back next week. Georgia and the Rebels, 2:30 on ABC. The time for that. Oklahoma, an early game, by the way. Early slate for the Rebels in Norman in 2 weeks. So I hope all y'all have a good time.
11 a.m. for OU.
Yeah, 11 o'clock on that one. So we got the end of these games. Got some good ones tonight as well as the MLB. We will handle that. MPW Digital, Rebels 24/7. Join us. Neil put a bunch of links in the chat earlier. So head on over, read our content. And we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.